on number 5 are a little more difficult because they have a number in front of the x squared. So I can't just write x plus x minus whatever. I have to incorporate that number. So your book will tell you to guess and check. Guess and check is stupid. Sometimes it takes lots of time, doesn't teach you anything, and just generally it sucks. So what we're going to do instead is have a method. Yay, a method! And what we call that is decomposition. So there's only one extra consideration, and that's when I pick my number that I'm going to be multiplying to, I have to include this one. So what I'm going to do is go 5 times 4 gives me 20. And now that's the number that I'm going to want to find factors for that add to 9. So I list the factors of 20. There's some that add to 9. So the next thing I do is I'm going to unfoil it. I'm going to write this out with the middle terms. Like that. So basically that's my first, outside, inside, last, and I can go backwards and figure out the rest. So if I had first outside, that meant that when I took my brackets like this, I must have taken this term and multiplied there and multiplied there. So that means that if these are the answers, they have a common factor. And that's what this was. So I'm going to take the common factor out of these two. And it looks like it's just x for this one. So 5x squared plus 4x has only x in common. 5x squared divided by x, or what times x would be 5x squared, would leave us with 5x in here plus 4. I look at the next set now, because this would be my number that went here, multiplying by each of these, inside last. So this is a plus, so I'm going to put a plus sign here, and I'm going to look for the common factor between 5x and 4. There doesn't appear to be one. Oh, but 1 is a factor of everything. So I can always take a 1 out when there doesn't appear to be anything else to take out. And then I'm just left with the 5x plus 4. And what I do for my final answer is I'm going to recognize that the 5x plus 4 is what was in this last set of brackets, because that's what I multiplied by to get it. So that's going to be one of my sets of brackets. And this term goes here, and this term goes here. And they make their own set of brackets. So now I have the factored form of that. Want to try it again? All right, I'm going to go through this one a little quickly and see if you can follow. So 3 times 4 is 12. It's a negative, which means a negative times a negative gave me that positive. So I'm looking for the factors of 12 that add to 7. Then I'm going to rewrite my question with those ones as my middle terms. So I can make those negatives in there, if that helps you. Then I'm going to collect my common factor. It's like it's just x again. Take that x out of there. This is a negative, so it becomes a negative. There's no common factor besides 1, which means that this is going to have to change because positive 3 divided by negative 1 gives me negative 3. These brackets should match. So if you find yourself getting a negative out here, you're going to find that that is going to change. So it was positive up here, there's a negative taken out, so it becomes a negative there. These two should match. Always check to make sure that they do. So my final answer then is going to be x minus 1, those two go there, times 4x minus 3. So that's pretty much it. each one of those questions in number 5 is exactly the same. You're just going to figure out what the two numbers on the outside multiply to, and then what factors of that number will give you this middle term, and then you're going to run through sort of unfoiling it to get those factors.